Hello, my name is Nancy. I'm 27 years old and I just got divorced. The divorce, of course, came with a nice cold serving of revenge on my husband and my horrible mother-in-law. Let me start off by telling you about my ex-husband, Lucas. I met him at the company that I was interning at during my last year of college. We were together for another 3 years before Lucas proposed to me and we got married. Now, my relationship with Lucas had a lot of ups and downs. Lucas was a mama's boy, which is fine on its own, but he takes it to an extreme. He has to call his mother, Elaine, every single day or he gets cranky. Elaine coddled him so much that he literally cannot do any household chores, nor does he have any basic survival skills. It was an issue at first, but I learned to live with it. Aside from that, Elaine made it very clear from the day that she met me that she hated me. She would constantly taunt me and insult me. She would belittle all my achievements, and whenever I asked her why she was treating me that way, she would tell me that I wasn't good enough for her son. Lucas never stood up for me even when Elaine said the meanest things to me in front of him. We would fight about it a lot, but he would always tell me that he could never go against his mother. Eventually, I just started letting her insults roll off my back, and when she realized that her words weren't affecting me like they used to, she stopped talking to me altogether. About a year after we got married, Lucas and I decided to start trying for a child. I even quit my job because I wanted to have a stress-free pregnancy. But after a year of trying, I never got pregnant. I could tell that it began to affect Lucas, but I could not approach him about it because I was feeling really upset with myself for not being able to get pregnant. So to get my mind off of the whole pregnancy thing, I decided to go back to working. 3 months after I started working again, I began to feel really sick. I didn't think much of it, but when I started to feel worse, I went to the doctor. After some blood tests, the doctor told me that I was pregnant. I was over the moon. I was so excited to tell Lucas about everything that the doctor told me that I went ahead and made Lucas his favorite dinner. When he finally came home that night, I sat him down and told him that I had something to tell him. "Babe, I have something kind of big to tell you." "What is it? I'm really tired, so could you make it a little quick?" "Yeah, of course. So you know how I've been feeling weird and nauseous these past few days?" "Yeah." "Well, I just thought that I must have had acute food poisoning, so I went to the doctor. They couldn't figure out what was wrong, so they asked me to get some blood tests done." "Oh, no. Is everything all right?" "Yes, everything's actually more than fine because the blood tests revealed that I am actually pregnant." "What? Oh, my God. That is great news." "I know. All the trying finally worked." "You know, I didn't tell you this, but I was actually beginning to give up all hope." "I know. I felt the same way too. I felt so inadequate. I know it's not good to reduce my worth to my reproductive capabilities, but I felt so bad that I couldn't do the one thing that a woman is supposed to do." "Oh, but everything's worked out fine right now. We did it." "We really did. The doctor did warn me that my pregnancy is a high-risk one, so we should be cautious and careful." "Oh, don't you worry about a thing, sweetheart. I'll take proper care of you." "We have to tell everyone. We have to plan a baby shower and a gender reveal." "Slow your horses, darling. We only just found out about the pregnancy. Why don't the both of us celebrate this first, and then we'll tell everyone about it? Let's focus on getting you through your first trimester without any hitches, all right?" "Yes, of course. I made us some dinner. Shall we eat?" "Absolutely." My pregnancy was really hard on me after that. I was constantly either nauseous or puking. I hated it. But that was the price that I had to pay to have the child I so desperately wanted. Thankfully, Lucas had been a great help, and I wouldn't have been able to make it through the first 4 months without his help. When my symptoms finally settled down, Lucas and I decided to throw me a baby shower. We invited all of our closest friends and family, and of course Elaine was there too. I tried my best to avoid her throughout the party, but she eventually cornered Lucas and me, so I had no choice but to talk to her. "Congratulations on the pregnancy, Nancy." "Thanks a lot, Elaine." "How's pregnancy been treating you so far?" Oh, she's been throwing up every morning and can barely get out of bed on most days. I thought it was concerning, but the doctor told me that this was normal considering that it is a high-risk pregnancy. Yikes! But it must feel rewarding to finally get pregnant after trying for so long. Oh yeah, it feels like I'm on top of the world, really. You better hope that the baby is yours. Excuse me? What do you mean, Mom? Well, doesn't it seem suspicious that the two of you started trying for a baby over a year ago, and just after Nancy started working, she got pregnant? Are you accusing me of cheating on Lucas? I mean, you said it, not me. Why in the world would you think that I would cheat on Lucas? Maybe you got frustrated with your inability to get pregnant, and to relieve the frustration, you used your co-worker? Wow, you are jumping through hoops to get to that conclusion. Lucas, can you believe what your mother is accusing me of? Well, you aren't denying it. Are you serious? Do you really believe your mother over me? It doesn't hurt to just give me a simple yes or no for an answer. Wow. Okay. If you want an answer that bad, Lucas, I did not cheat on you at all. Does that stop you from being suspicious of me? Kind of. I can't do this right now. I'm going to go lay in bed for some time. I would appreciate it if you just didn't talk to me for a while. And Elaine, you are a real piece of work for even suggesting that I would cheat on Lucas when I have proven over and over again how much I love him. I ran to our room and locked myself in there. I cried myself to sleep that night. I couldn't believe that all it took for Lucas to shift his entire view of me was some words from his mother. Could he really not think logically on his own at all? Lucas didn't attempt to talk to me over the next few days. I didn't feel like talking to him because every time I saw his face, a fresh new wave of anger would wash over me, and I wanted to be nicer to him when I asked him why he did what he did. Eventually, Lucas gave in and approached me first. Hey, can we talk? I don't know. Are you going to accuse me of cheating on you again? There's no need to be salty about it. I'm trying to communicate right now, and if you don't want to, I can give you some more time. Fine. I'm sorry. I was being a jerk. I'd like to talk. All right. Well, first of all, how are you feeling? Physically? I feel great. Emotionally? I feel like I've been stabbed in the back. All right. Well, why is that? You can't be serious. I just want to understand you better. I know the question sounds stupid, but just go along with it, okay? Well, you had some nerve to believe your mother when she accused me of cheating. I've always been faithful to you, and you know your mother absolutely hates my guts. She wants you to be with someone else, and she's proven that she'll do anything to get me out of the picture. And still, you choose to believe her. I didn't actually believe her, though. You still had a brief doubt about my loyalty to you. That was why you asked me to either confirm or deny what Elaine was saying. If you trusted me 100%, you would never have even thought to ask me that. You have to admit that my mom had some point in her question. You do realize that she also indirectly insulted you, right? She essentially called you impotent. No, she did not. You can remain in denial for all I care, but I do not want you to ever question my loyalty again. Here, you can call all my male co-workers and ask them if I had any improper relationships with any of them. This is not necessary. No, Lucas, it is, especially since you think that I have it in me to cheat on you. Not only that, you think that I have it in me to trick you into raising another man's child. I'm not calling any of your co-workers. That's going to be embarrassing for both of us. What I do want, however, is for you to take a DNA test after the child is born, just to be sure. Excuse me? I will not do that. I get it. Your hormones are all over the place right now, but we will have this conversation after you give birth. For now, I want you to have a comfortable and easy pregnancy. Don't bring this up again. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but I honestly had no energy to fight back. The pregnancy was hard on me as it is, and I didn't need more stress. For the remaining length of my pregnancy, Lucas and I slept in separate rooms, although he still took proper care of me. What was new was Elaine came over almost every day, and the two of them talked for hours in Lucas's office. I would hear them speak to each other in hushed whispers, and I would feel hurt all over again at the way that Lucas betrayed me so easily. Finally, it was time to give birth. I struggled a lot, but I did give birth to a healthy baby girl. I lost consciousness for a few hours after birth, but when I finally came to and saw my baby for the first time, I stared in awe at how she looked like the spitting image of her father. My only thought at that time was that if Lucas still asked for a DNA test, then I would just leave him. I got discharged from the hospital a few days after giving birth, and I didn't want anyone to visit me for a month because I wanted to take that time to recover and bond with my child. Lucas remained quiet mostly, and we never addressed what happened before. Finally, I was ready to have our family come see the baby, and Elaine was the first to want to see her. "Congratulations on giving birth." "Thanks, Elaine." "How was the process? Did it hurt?" "You've given birth before, Elaine. I'm sure you know what it feels like." "Nancy, you can't speak to my mother that way." "Speaking of parents, Lucas, sweetie, did she do it?" "Do what?" "No, she hasn't." "Hello? I'm still in the room. Stop addressing me as she and just tell me what it is." "Wow, someone's in a cranky mood." "Mom was asking me if you did the DNA test of the baby as yet." "I have not, and I will not either." "So you're admitting to cheating on my son then?" "That's not true at all. I just think that if I take the DNA test, it'll break what little trust I had in Lucas. It's just going to prove that he believed I was capable of infidelity, and that is not who I want to be with." "Well, not taking the DNA test makes me feel like you're hiding something from me." "The only thing I'm hiding from you is how angry you've made me ever since I got pregnant. You've listened to every nonsensical word your mother's said, but you refuse to listen to a word that I've said. You've accused me of cheating on you, and you've caused me so much stress that I had a very difficult birth. I've lost so much sleep because of you and your stupid accusations. Did you for once stop to think of me? No, because you only care about your lying, manipulative mother." "Of course you're going to be this defensive. Have you seen your mother? I've heard enough stories about your mother's questionable history with men. I'm sure that she raised you to be just like her." "You listen to me right now. You can insult me all you want, but I will not have you insult my mother. If we want to talk about parenting, why don't we look at yours? You've raised your son to be so distrusting and incapable of forming his own opinions without Mommy's help. Your son would not even be alive if it wasn't for me, because you coddled him so much that he has no idea how to do something as basic as cook for himself. My mom did what she had to do to raise me, and if that is what I have to do with my child, then so be it. It'll be a cold day in hell before I even let you near my baby. Do not speak to me or my mother that way ever again." Before I could say another word, Lucas slapped me across the face. I stared at him in shock. Lucas had never been one to get angry. I always thought that he was a rather docile man, but to have him slap me like that was unacceptable. My ears were ringing. I could barely process what had happened before I felt Lucas hit me across the face again. Then I felt my hair get pulled back, and I opened my eyes to see Elaine's face close to mine. She told me to never talk to her with disrespect again, and then she slapped me. The two of them kept yelling at me, but I could barely make anything out because of the ringing in my ears. Eventually, after another hard blow to my head, they left me alone. I couldn't believe that I got beaten up. No one had ever laid a hand on me. Even my own mother never playfully smacked me. This was atrocious. My baby was wailing, so I made sure that there was no one in the house. I grabbed my child, got into my car so I could get to my mom's house. I called my mom to make sure she was home and told her I'd be there shortly. My mom opened her door to greet me warmly, but quickly looked horrified. "Hi, sweet. What happened? Why is your face red and swollen?" "Can I please come in?" "Of course. Who did this to you?" "Lucas." "What? Why would he hit you?" "Elaine put it in his head that the only reason I got pregnant was because I was cheating on him." "Okay. I know this is very important, but I need to take pictures of your bruises right now. Is Nick okay?" Do what you have to do, Mom. Nick's okay. He cried a lot on the way here, and I guess he tired himself out enough to fall asleep. Okay, now narrate what else happened. I was as gentle and firm as I could be with them when they asked me to take a DNA test to prove that Nick was Lucas's kid. Eventually, though, what is it? Elaine insulted you and said that you raised me to be promiscuous, and I kind of lost my cool on her. Oh, God, did you hit her? No! You know I would never resort to violence. Okay, good, because that would not have made you look good. I just lashed out at her and insulted her parenting. Lucas did not like that one bit, so he slapped me. The next thing I knew, I was getting beaten up by both of them for insulting Elaine. Elaine grabbed my hair and slapped me before telling me never to disrespect her ever again. Oh, God, sweetie, I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. I don't care what you say, but you are taking them to court, okay? I will not let you go through what I went through. You don't have to worry about a thing, though. Let me handle all the paperwork. I will make them pay for what they did to my precious child. My mom first made sure that I didn't have a concussion and then told me to get some sleep, while she handled taking care of my baby. I did just that. Over the next few days, I had no idea what my mom was doing because she refused to let me get stressed about anything. You see, the reason Elaine insulted my mom was because not only was my mom a single mother, but she did have a not-so-colorful past. My dad left us when I was still a baby. My mom got pregnant with me right after she graduated high school, and she had no degree to her name. Not to mention my grandparents disowned her when they found out she was pregnant, so she did what she had to do to earn money to keep both of us alive. She started making a lot of money by working as an escort. I know when you hear the word, a lot of things come up, but she did none of that. My mom was, and still is, a very attractive woman, and she's very charming. She has a way with her words that makes anyone agree with her. A lot of people, especially those in big positions, found out about her and began to hire her just to accompany them for business dinners and such. As a result, my mom got to forge a lot of connections in our city. My mom pretty much retired after I graduated high school and hasn't lacked money to date because of her connections. So I trusted her fully when she said she would handle things for me. About a week after I last saw Lucas and Elaine, my mom told me to get dressed up because we were going to a fancy restaurant to meet Lucas and Elaine. I knew better than to question my mom, but I was still terrified about the reason for the meeting. When we got there, Lucas and Elaine were dressed to the nines. I still remained on guard. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Lynette. Please, take a seat. Why don't you order something? The tab's on us. Why are you being so nice? Oh, we were always nice. You weren't nice to my face or my scalp the last time I saw the both of you. About that, we're sorry for how we treated you. We shouldn't have let our emotions get the best of us. You let your emotions get the best of you? That's your pathetic excuse? Well, she lashed out at us after we insulted you, which was fair because you are a wonderful woman who truly is an inspiration. I mean, your life story is just fascinating. Why are you suddenly praising my mother? You had no issue insulting her and me before. Insult? You must have misheard. I really am sorry, though, if it sounded like an insult. Lynette, you have to know that I didn't mean to insult you at all. I'm not here to get buttered up by you. Nothing you say or do is going to change what's going to happen to both of you. The fact is that you physically abused my daughter, and you are going to pay for it. Mom, what's going on? What do you mean? What I mean is that these two received court summons and are under investigation for abusing you and endangering Nick. I know you look down on my past, but you know what that past gave me now? All the highest connections in this state. We had no idea about how wonderful you are, Lynette. We really are sorry for the things we did and said. Please, just spare us this once. Why should I? You and your mother hit my daughter when you felt like she disrespected you. Why wouldn't I destroy you when you left visible signs of abuse all over my daughter's face? This pathetic attempt of yours to make peace won't work. I suggest you lawyer up and get ready to spend time in jail and a hefty amount in fines. Come on, Nancy, let's go. I had no idea about what had been happening, but seeing Elaine and Lucas treating my mom like she held their lives in her hand was the best form of revenge that I could have asked for. But that was not where it ended. My mom was not satisfied with that. She knew the best lawyer in the city, so she had him represent me in court. She had me file charges of domestic violence and child endangerment against Elaine and Lucas. The trial absolutely dragged Lucas and Elaine's reputation through the mud, because my mom knew quite a few influential journalists in our city. She had them cover the case, and that led to a lot of people finding out not only who Lucas and Elaine were, but also what they were capable of doing. Lucas and Elaine were both sentenced to 3 years in prison and were charged with heavy fines. On top of that, Lucas lost his parental rights and Elaine lost her grandparents' rights. They were also slapped with a restraining order that did not allow them to be within 100 feet of me or my child. By the time the trial ended, Lucas and Elaine were guaranteed a better life in prison rather than out here in the real world. Their reputation was so far gone that no one in their fields would want to employ them. They would be facing some real challenges when they got out, and really, the knowledge of that makes me incredibly happy. After everything finally died down, I treated my mom to dinner at her favorite restaurant and thanked her profusely for helping me out the way she did. She told me that seeing me hurt made her mother's instincts kick in, and she just blindly acted on those. Hearing that made me excited to experience these instincts with my child too. Of course, not for something as horrible as what I went through. Things are still a little rough for me right now because I'm juggling being a single mom and taking care of an infant, but at least I can sleep knowing that my child is not going to be harmed in any way. Thank you for listening.